Hi, and welcome to another CAD tutorial for the R2D2 assembly. Today we're going to focus on the head, which is relatively simple. You can always find the mechanical drawings on the Canvas webpage. Because of the simplicity of this model, I'm going to show you two different methods to construct it. So let's begin. Since we're starting this model from scratch, we're just going to do a new part. You don't have to open any existing part. And when you do create a new part, if you're not using a template, make sure you set your units to millimeters. So I'm doing that with the lower left quick toolbar. And for this one, we're going to draw on the front plane. So I'm going to view the front plane, go normal to it, and select a center point circle. To save us time, I'm going to click on the origin point so I don't have to use Smart Dimension to move this circle to the center. Just make sure you get that orange notification saying that you are clicking on the origin point. So click once and then arbitrarily click again. We don't care what the size is at the moment. We'll use Smart Dimension and make that circle 30 millimeters in diameter. We're still going to keep drawing, and I'm going to click corner rectangle. And this corner rectangle needs to start from the center of the circle or the origin. It is very important that the rectangle we're making exceeds the boundaries of the circumference of the circle. So before you make that click, make sure it goes beyond those two borders. Next, we're going to trim this up by clicking, again, still in Sketch, Trim Entities, and we're going to use the basic option Power Trim. And you're going to click and hold and drag your cursor over the lines you want to erase. So erase all the lines until you end up with a quarter circle. And then we're done with the trim. So from there, you're going to go to Features, and then we're going to click Revolve Base. The first menu prompt is clicking the axis of revolution, and that's going to be the straight line up and down going vertical on our screen. And if you keep the defaults to revolve 360 degrees and blind, this quarter circle will revolve into a half sphere. So from there, we have one step to go, and we're going to hollow it out. So in the Features menu, you're going to click Shell. And the face, which is the blue highlighted area, is going to be the bottom or the flat part of this half sphere. And the shell option is going to be 1 millimeter. So we're going to leave a 1 millimeter shell everywhere else. And if you do Show Preview, you get an example of what it's going to try and do. And I'll click the checkbox, and that completes the head portion of R2D2. So we can do that in two simple steps. So from here, you want to save it. So File, Save, and make sure this is your Android ID R2D2 Head 1. So that completes the model. It's pretty straightforward, but I want to show you another method to do so. And you get in the right headspace, eventually you'll find the method that works for you depending on how you think and visualize your models. So I'm going to show you the next way to make this. So we'll start with the next method, and I'm just going to delete the two features that I showed you, including the sketch that I made. We need portions of that sketch, but it's easier to redo it. So again, I'm going to go to the front plane, turn it on, and go normal to it. And I'm going to use my sketch tool and click center circle. And the first click I want to make should be on the origin. So again, if you click anywhere else, you'll have to dimension to 0 to the origin to move that center point. So I need two circles. The outer circle is going to be our 30 millimeter diameter size. And the inner circle, I'm just going to dimension the distance between its circumference and the larger circle's circumference, and that's going to be 1 millimeter because that's the shell size we're looking for. So again, if you look at the mechanical drawing, all this information is all there at once. It's just how you get there is up to you. So with that, I'm going to do again our tool, the corner rectangle. And again, this rectangle needs to extend beyond the boundaries of both circles' circumferences. I'll just click and hold and move this dimension out of the way so it's easier to see. You can just click and hold any dimension while in Sketch to do so. We'll go to Trim Entities and use Power Trim by default. And again, click and hold and drag over lines you want to trim. So these will essentially delete them up to the next line that intersects it. And these are all the lines you want to trim until you end up with that what looks like a partial rib. So we're done sketching up to this point, and like before, we're going to use the Revolve tool. And if you haven't clicked your sketch, make sure you click the entity or sketch you want to revolve. The axis of revolution is the same right here. So with that blue highlighted box, I'll click that vertical line and it will revolve and make that hollowed out half sphere. Doing it this way means you don't have to use the shell command, but knowing how to do it this way and also knowing about the shell command, however you want to tackle drawing and drafting, that's up to you. So this again completes how to make the head of the simplified R2D2. And I'll show you another little trick. The section view is a quick tool menu always available. This is a quick way to get a cross-section view, and you can look at it from a few different planes. So front, top, and right. And clicking this arrow will show you where you want to slice in that model. You can always click on the section view to look quickly at a bifurcated version of your model to get a good perspective of if you're drawing something complicated and you need to see inside. So that's always an option there, but we'll just click it again to disable it. And since again we've completed it, make sure you save this as R2D2 head 1 with your Android ID in that name. So that concludes how to make the head 1.